The sun hasn't yet risen over the razor wire fences. Floodlights sweep across rows of silent cell blocks as the night shift hands over to the day. Inside the control room, a digital clock flips to 05:59. A buzzer sounds, and dozens of heavy steel doors slam in unison. It's not just a job. It's walking into another world. In this documentary, you'll spend a full day inside one of America's most secure prisons. Not as an inmate, but as the people charged with keeping order. The correctional officers. You'll see the briefings, the cell searches, the emergencies, and the split-second decisions that can mean life or death. We'll draw from real interviews, training manuals, and investigative reports to show you what the uniform really carries: stress, duty, and a window into society's hidden corners. Stay to the end for the story of one officer whose single act changed the culture of an entire unit. This is a day in the life of a correctional officer behind the walls of a maximum security prison. Dawn briefing. At 6 a.m., the day shift files in. Before entering the facility, each officer passes through metal detectors and hands over their phone and wallet. Once inside the secure perimeter, the outside world fades. In the briefing room, a shift commander outlines the day, which units are on lockdown, which inmates are going to court, and where tensions are high. Coffee is poured, radios are tested, equipment is checked, keys, cuffs, OC spray, stab-resistant vests. Each officer is assigned a post, some to the control room, some to cell blocks, some to perimeter patrol. On the walls hang photos of high-risk inmates and color-coded charts of gang affiliations. This opening segment shows viewers that even before an officer sets foot on the tiers, a day's work begins with preparation, intelligence, and vigilance. Walking the tier. When the shift changes, the out must be verified. Two officers walk side by side down the tier, calling out cell numbers, checking faces against ID cards. Inside each cell is a different world. Some inmates asleep, some exercising, some staring out at nothing. The officer's job is to notice everything. Contraband tucked under a mattress, a towel draped just so, a look exchanged between cellmates. A routine walk can turn dangerous in seconds. You have to be part social worker, part cop, part soldier, one veteran says. This section lets viewers feel the tension of a normal day, the hypervigilance, the unspoken rules, and the tiny cues that can signal trouble. Contraband, search and shakedown. Contraband is the lifeblood of a maximum security prison. Even in lockdown units, items find their way in: cell phones, drugs, improvised weapons, homemade alcohol, and coded notes known as kites. Each morning, a roster lists which cells will be searched. Two officers approach a door while a third stands watch. The inmate is handcuffed and escorted out to a holding cage while his cell is turned inside out. Mattress flipped, vent covers unscrewed, even light fixtures checked. Veteran officers develop a sixth sense for hiding spots. Inside toothpaste tubes, under stamped envelopes, even behind loose concrete. Some inmates go to extraordinary lengths, hollowing out books, melting plastic trays into shanks, braiding fishing line to pull objects from other cells. This segment shows viewers the hidden cat-and-mouse game that plays out daily. Every find is logged, bagged, and photographed. If the item is serious, a weapon or a phone, an incident report is filed and intelligence staff notified. You can't let your guard down, one sergeant says. One razor blade in the wrong hands changes everything. A shakedown isn't just about confiscating contraband. It's also a show of presence. A reminder at the institution still controls the space. But for officers, it's a moment of heightened risk. Their backs literally turned as they search. Tension hangs in the air like static, meal service and movement. Mealtime is one of the most delicate operations in a maximum security prison. In some units, food is delivered directly to cells. In others, small groups of inmates are escorted to a dining hall under heavy supervision. Either way, it's a high-risk moment. The only time many prisoners leave their cells. Officers form movement teams, lining the corridor and calling out ID numbers. Inmates are cuffed, searched, and moved in groups of 2 or 3. Radios crackle with constant updates. Tier clear. 2 on the move. In the chow hall, officers stand at strategic points, corners, exits, and near the serving line, watching for hand signals, sudden movements, or unusual groupings. Even a spilled tray can be a distraction for a fight. You have to see 10 seconds ahead, one officer explains. Most trouble gives off a warning if you're looking. After the meal, everyone is searched again before returning to cells. A single shift can involve hundreds of these microtransactions, each one an opportunity for smuggling or assault if handled incorrectly. For viewers, this section underscores that correctional work is 90% routine and 10% crisis. But the 10% can erupt without warning. Every escort, every tray, every door opened is a potential flashpoint. Emergency response drill. No matter how well run a unit is, violence can erupt without warning. That's why maximum security prisons train constantly for emergencies. Every few weeks, staff conduct a code red drill, simulating an inmate fight, a barricade, or a medical crisis. When the alarm sounds, radios explode with coded calls. The Rapid Response Team, RRT, gears up in a secure locker room. Stab-resistant vests, tactical helmets, gloves, gas masks, shields. Each officer has a designated role: shield man, cuffing officer, camera operator, chemical agent. The drill plays out like a real incident. Officers stack up at the door, one shouting commands while another records everything on a handheld camera. Inmate, lie down. Show me your hands. On the floor of the training cell, a staff volunteer plays the role of a combative prisoner. For viewers, this section reveals the paramilitary side of corrections. Most of the time, officers are counselors, janitors, and referees. But when a fight breaks out, they become a coordinated unit, trained to end it fast and with minimal injury. The drill ends with a debrief. What went right? What went wrong? How to do it better next time? Everyone returns to their posts, adrenaline still high. Even a practice scenario leaves its mark. The emotional toll and why officers stay. At 6:00 p.m., the day shift ends. Officers pass back through the metal detectors, reclaim their phones, and step out into the fading daylight. Many describe the feeling as re-entering the world. The job takes a toll. High rates of stress, divorce, and PTSD. You learn to always sit facing the door, one officer says, even at a restaurant. Yet many return year after year. Why? Some cite the pay and benefits. Others say it's the camaraderie, a family forged under pressure. A few believe they're making a difference, even in small ways. Diffusing a fight, offering a word of encouragement, keeping everyone alive another day. This closing section humanizes the uniform. It shows viewers that behind the badges are people who carry the job home in their minds, who wrestle with its impact on their health and families, but who also find meaning in maintaining order in a place designed for chaos. Thanks for watching Behind Bars TV. If this documentary opened your eyes, hit the like button and subscribe for more real stories from inside the world's toughest prisons. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next episode.